Live from the CSI Sports and Recreation Center from the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you into coverage of College of Staten Island men's volleyball. Tonight, the CSI Dolphins on your screen now warming up take on the Medgar College Cougars in a non-conference matchup between these two teams. Both of these teams played their conference matchup earlier this year. CSI defeated Medgar by a score of 3-0. This game does not count towards the conference standings, but we are about 5 minutes away here from our opening serve. The Dolphins going up against the Cougars. CSI coming into this game a record of 4 wins and 9 losses. They are 2-4 in the CUNY Athletic Conference. And for Medgar Evers, they come into this game with a record of 0-18 on the season and overall, and then 0-8 within the CUNY. So they've already played 2 conference games. Medgar, of course, looking for their first victory of the season. Both teams have cleared the floor and are getting set for pregame introductions and the national anthem. And as the last couple of minutes drip away here at the Sports and Rec Center, the Dolphins are coming off of perhaps their biggest and most impressive win of the season. They defeated CCNY by a score of 3-2 back on March 11th. Last weekend, part of a CUNY tri-match between Lehman and CCNY. The Dolphins dropped the first game against Lehman 3-0, but then they were down 2-0 against CCNY, and then came all the way back to score a 3-2 win over City College on their home court. CSI winning that one, the final 3 sets, 25-20, 25-18, and 15-9. So we're just about getting set for our starting lineups, so we will turn it over to the public address announcements here at the College of Staten Island to get you ready for CSI versus Medgar Evers.
Men's volleyball matchup. Tonight's match features the Cougars of Medgar Evers College taking on your CSI Dolphins. Ladies and gentlemen, before we introduce tonight's starters, we ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
So both teams have been introduced here onto the floor in the Sports and Recreation Center. The CSI Dolphins looking to beat the Cougars for the second time this season. Both of these teams meeting way back earlier in the season. They played on February 20th, part of a CUNY tri-match. It was the Dolphins' first victory of the season, and it was the Dolphins' first CUNY win of the season as well. Dolphins are since 2-4 in the CUNY, and they're 4-9 overall. Medgar Evers still looking to get on the positive end of the scoreboard. They are 0-18 this season, 0-8 in the conference. This game, of course, as we mentioned, is not a conference game. It will not count in the conference standings for either team. The starting lineups are on the floor for the Dolphins. Jay Guo, Mark Palencia, Daniil Kukovitsky, Anthony Vigilante, Brandon Lay, and Kalik Baum, who we'll talk a little bit about this evening as well. Limited time, obviously fresh off the CSI basketball team is Kalik, and for Medgar Evers, they will go with number 2, Justin Sutton, making his first appearance of the season. Number 4, Dwight Boone. Number 7, Javon Scott. Number 9, Abdul Kamara. Number 11, Mark Reed. And number 15, Kevin Marseille. The Dolphins did win the toss during pregame. They will serve first. Brandon Lay will do the honors. And it will be Brendan Lee's serve. Lay this season with 4 service aces. Puts that one over on the back line. Bumped up originally by Boone, but it settles there. The Dolphins will have the first point of this evening's match, 1-0. Second serve up, once again hits the middle of the back row. Bumped up, sent over by Kamara. Dolphins play there. Vigilante bumps it up to Palencia. He tries to drop one in. It's kept alive originally, but skates over to the back line. Unplayable for Medgar, and the Dolphins now lead 2-0. Dolphins broke themselves a 3-game losing streak with their win against CCNY on Saturday, looking to make it 2 games in a row for the first time this season. Kept alive and sent over. Beautiful play on the back line by Kamara. The Dolphins have no choice but to send it over. Here comes Medgar again. Kamara puts one over, but we are going to have a whistle, and it'll be a CSI point as we had an error on the play. Dolphins go up 3-0, all on the service of Brandon Lay, who started things off. Puts that one on the back line. Played well by Medgar. And Dolphins send it right back over. Kept alive. Medgar able to keep it going. And Kamara is able to strike down his first kill of the evening. And Medgar's on the scoreboard 3-1. And they have the serve. It will be Javon Scott. Scott this season with 15 assists. 1 service ace this season. Right from the middle of the line. Sends one to the front line. Vigilante with the first hit. Brandon Lay puts it over. Oh, and unfortunately that time, miscommunication as Kevin Marseille opted not to play it. Thought he had help on the back line, indeed did not. Dolphins up 4-1, and Mark Palencia will have the serve. Palencia, the leader in a lot of categories for the Dolphins this season, 113 kills. Also leads the way with 12 service aces. Medgar keeps it alive, sends it right over. Kalik Baum does the same. Medgar still controls, and that time out of bounds. Dwight Boone with the kill attempt, so the Dolphins go up 5-1. Palencia from the right side of the box, far side of your screen. And that one goes in between 2 Medgar Evers defensive linemen, Miller and number 11, Mark Reed. That was Justin Sutton, excuse me, who was closest to it as well. Number 2, as we mentioned, making his first appearance of the season. And once again, back line, Sutton unable to control, as a little miscommunication there as number 4, Dwight Boone, went up for it as well. And so now the Dolphins with 4 straight points, 3 off of Palencia's serve. That one kept up by Kamara. Looked to put it through was Scott, but unfortunately hits the top of the tape. The Dolphins have themselves a big lead, 8-1. When these two teams met earlier this season, Medgar fell 25-6, 25-7, and 25-5 to the Dolphins. So they are a huge underdog here in this one. Medgar plays that one up. Collision at the front, but hitting into the net or going beneath the net was Kamara. Another error there. So the Dolphins now with 6 straight points and are up 9-1. Palencia with 2 aces, 14 for the season now. Puts that one low on the back line, kept up by Medgar, but not over. So the Dolphins come out to a 10-1 lead. That will not count as a service ace for Palencia. And that one sent over. Nice job that time as the immediate putback onto CSI side by Javon Scott. Gets Medgar to end the run. It's 10-2 now, Dolphins. And Kevin Marseille will be doing the honors here behind the service line. Couple of bounces for Marseille, puts it over towards the back line. Guo with the first touch. Palencia back to Guo, and he's able to put that into open space on the back line. Dolphins now lead 11-2, and we'll get service back this time. We'll have Steven Caruso check in for Khalik Baum, and Caruso will be serving. Khalik Baum playing in only his 4th match of the season. He comes off now in favor of Caruso, a good server. Puts one on the back line, and that's going to be an ace for Caruso. Gives the Dolphins a 12-2 lead. Steven Caruso second on the team now with 11 aces this season, right behind Palencia, who added 2 of his own. That one put middle of the floor, kept up by Medgar. Front line attack does not go over, and the Dolphins able to capitalize. 13-2 now, as we have a timeout called by Medgar Evers. So the Dolphins racing out to a 13-2 lead here. Steven Caruso able to get one of 4 Staten Island aces in the first set. And while we have this little break in the action, we will let you know that the CSI Dolphins men's volleyball team will be back in action against Ramapo College Monday at 7 p.m. They will be on the road for that one, and then they return home for 2 straight home matches. John Jay at 7 o'clock on the 23rd, and then on the 30th they wrap things up at home against Baruch. Lehman and Sarah Lawrence, the tri-match schedule for next Saturday, the 25th, will be played at Lehman College, 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. start times there. The schedule has been upended of sorts. The Dolphins had their tri-match against Wilkes and Alvernia scheduled for this weekend canceled due to intense storms in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Wilkes University, I should say, is completely closed this weekend, and that's why the Dolphins tri-match this weekend has been canceled against Wilkes and Alvernia. We pick up here, the Dolphins up by 11, 13-2. Steven Caruso will have the honors of serving. And so after the buzzer, we get set here. Caruso puts one up, left-handed serve, kept alive. Back line attack by Boone, kept up by the Dolphins. Palencia with a touch, sent over by Kukovitsky, and it's hit but out of bounds. So the Dolphins will get another point and are now comfortably in control, 14-2. Caruso takes a couple steps, puts one towards the sideline, kept in. Medgar can't get there. And another point, another ace for Caruso. That'll be his second here in this sequence. Now has 12 for the season, sole possession of second place in that department. Adil El Haddad, who is not playing in this set, is third on the team. And here's another ace for Caruso. Makes it 16-2 in the Dolphins' favor. Dolphins comfortably ahead. Dolphins at the front line go with Kukovitsky, Guo, and Vigilante. Caruso with the serve. Marseille had the first hit on it, but that will go right into the net. So another service ace for Caruso now. He has 4 and has tied Mark Palencia with the team lead with 14 total this year. Skies that one. Played up by Medgar, kept alive. Medgar looking to get it over. They do. Nice job that time by Kamara to keep it alive. Dolphins will get an attack attempt out of this. Blocked initially at the line, kept up by the Cougars. over but out, too much on it by Dwight Boone. So the Dolphins continue their onslaught of points here, 18-2. Caruso lines up once again, hit initially. Here's an attack attempt, sent over. Well done by Mark Reed, but the Dolphins continue with it. And Guo's able to put one on the back line on the tape, and it is in. So the Dolphins now with a 19-2 edge. Dolphins' largest margin of victory this season was 25-5 when they beat Medgar Evers earlier this year. There's a couple of tips, but unable to keep it alive was Dwight Boone, and the Dolphins are now 5 points away from taking set number one. It's 20-2 here in favor of the Dolphins. Dolphins looking to improve to 5-9 this season overall. As that one is sent right back over, Dolphins will get an attempt out of this. Kukovitsky able to nurse it over, but it's going to be a block error called against Medgar Evers at the front line. So the Dolphins get themselves another point and are now 4 points away. Dolphins looking for their first home victory of the season. They're 0-4 here at the Sports and Rec Center. Medgar able to play, and Mark Reed comes down hard with it, but he hit into the net on the kill attempt. That'll cost his team a point, 22-2. Caruso's had the serve since very early on. He's got 5 aces in this sequence alone. Kept up by Medgar. Now a backline attack by Sutton. Kept alive. Dolphins still have it. Lay, Kukovitsky nursing it over. Kamara will get an attempt. He's able to put it over. Dug out cleanly by the Dolphins, sent over by Palencia. Medgar continues, sends it over. Nice dig by the Dolphins. Kukovitsky keeps it alive and over. Medgar right back. Lay, Kukovitsky, another nurse. And that one is able to hit the hardwood for another point. So definitely the longest sequence of the night, longest volley. The Dolphins are 2 points away here from victory in set number one. Caruso able to put one towards the sideline, and the Dolphins have game point on Caruso's 6th service ace of the first set. And another timeout here for Medgar Evers as they want to talk things over. Head coach Lanford Cameron. We'll see the Medgar Evers regroup here. It seems like the Dolphins are in full control, 24-2 here in set number one. We got off to a little bit of a late start. Medgar arrived just a tad late. They left 30 on the clock for both teams to get a proper warm-up. Dolphins up 24-2 here in the first set. We'll let you know that the Dolphins will be back on CSI Sportsnet on Thursday next week against John Jay, the 23rd at 7 p.m. That will be the Dolphins continuing their CUNY schedule. This game against Medgar Evers does not count towards the CUNY standings. But the Dolphins will be facing John Jay March 23rd right here, 7 o'clock. We will have it for you on CSI Sportsnet. We want to let you know that if you're watching us on Sportsnet, that every single broadcast that we do is available on demand. All you have to do is go to the lower right of your screen, click on the on-demand button, and you can catch all of CSI's broadcasts on demand, every sport available. When we resume, Medgar Evers trying to stay alive here in set one. Kukovitsky, another pop over, and that one does hit the hardwood, and the Dolphins have now won set number one. So the Dolphins up 1-0 here as we get set for set number two coming up. The teams will switch sides here. The Dolphins will have themselves a 1-0 lead against the team that they've beaten in every set that they faced this season. The Dolphins faced Medgar Evers back on February 20th. They defeated Medgar by a score of 25-6, 25-7, and 25-5. This is their biggest win of the season, 25-2. The Dolphins are 4-9 overall this season. Medgar Evers 0-18, looking to turn things around. And Steve Caruso, the hero of that first set, he had 6 service aces, 3 kills for Mark Palencia, 2 for Anthony Vigilante, and 1 for Kalik Baum in limited duties. Those were digs, I apologize. Kukovitsky had 3 kills. Jay Guo had 3 kills, and Mark Palencia only had the 1. The digs were Palencia with 3, Vigilante with 2, and Baum with 1. Over on Medgar Evers' side, 1 kill each for Scott and Kamara. A couple of digs, 1 dig each for Sutton, Boone, Reed, and Marseille, and 2 assists, 1 for Kamara, 1 for Marseille. No aces in that set for Medgar Evers, so those are your stats right now. After 1 set, Dolphins in full control here against Medgar Evers. Once again, the Dolphins' next games were scheduled to be on Saturday at Wilkes University. Those 2 games have been snowed out. Wilkes University is completely closed this weekend as they work on campus cleanup throughout. So the Dolphins have seen their tri-match against Wilkes and Alvernia canceled. So they'll be in action next on Monday when they take on Ramapo College on the road. Against the Roadrunners there, a tough test for them. Dolphins in that first set, an attack percentage of .636. That's their best of the season. 7 kills total on 11 attacks, no errors. And for Medgar Evers, they had 2 kills, 8 errors, and 16 attacks. So actually Medgar credited with more attacks than the Dolphins, but obviously unable to convert. The Dolphins doing a good job with 6 total digs in that set. Medgar Evers with 4 total. Medgar with the 1 block error. Dolphins come back out. It's Palencia, Baum, Vigilante, Lay, Guo, and Kukovitsky. Ronald Tisby is getting set to come in as the libero. Medgar Evers, they don't have a choice. They only have 6 players who are here tonight. So they will go on the floor again with number 2, Justin Sutton, who's playing in his first match of the season. He has not played up till now. And they'll also have number 4, Dwight Boone, 7, Javon Scott, 9, Abdul Kamara, 11, Mark Reed, 15, Kevin Marseille. These are 2 very young teams that are playing. Medgar Evers, only 1 junior on their roster. The rest are freshmen and sophomores. Shaquille Miller is their only junior, but he's not even here tonight. And right now, the Medgar Evers have a sophomore, a freshman, sophomore, and freshman in the game. So 4 sophomores, 2 freshmen in the game for Medgar Evers. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they too, a very young team. They have no seniors on this team. A couple of juniors, Justin Stout, Samuel Dales, our first-year juniors. You got Brandon Lay and Kukovitsky, who have been here from the start. Kalik Baum is the lone senior, but he's playing in only his 2nd season for the Dolphins. So we are just about ready to go here with set number 2. It'll be Sutton to do the honors. Puts that one up towards the back line. Guo mishits, kept alive by Vigilante, and Kalik Baum sends it over. Dug out by Medgar Evers, and now going up and hammering it down is Kamara, but it's dug out nicely. Dolphins the other way with Palencia. That too dug out. Medgar working it. Far side, Vigilante with the dig. Kept alive by Baum. Sent over by Medgar. Mishit by Tisby. Dolphins keep it alive. Guo on the back line. Still in play. Kalik Baum tried to send it over, but an attack error that time for Baum will give the first points of the 2nd set into the hands of Medgar. So Medgar with their first lead of the match. 1-0 here on a very long volley that time between both teams. Sutton gets into it. Guo with the hit. Lay misplays it, and that'll be a ball handling error and gives Medgar a quick 2-0 advantage. Sent over, shallow depth, Tisby to Lay. Over to Palencia, and he hammers that down into the Medgar back line. And the Dolphins are on the scoreboard, 2-1. So Lay gets the first service underway. Played clean that time by Boone, kept alive, but 4 touches for Medgar Evers will allow the Dolphins to tie things up 2-2. So Medgar quickly sees their lead evaporate. Lay sends one over, straight shot, kept alive by Medgar, but too many hits. That's another 4 hits for Medgar. So CSI takes their first lead of the second set. They lead 1-0 here, in case you joined us late. Brandon Lay continues to serve here. Lay with 2 aces in the game, 4 assists. Medgar able to play it. Kamara sends one over, dug out by Tisby. Lay, and now Vigilante finding open space and able to put that one down, 4-2. So for Anthony Vigilante, it's his first attack, his second attack of the game, his first kill. Nice job that time as Lay continues to control. Bumped up. Marseille has his shot blocked, but Medgar keeps it alive. Kamara extending, gets it over. Lay with the dig. Jay Guo and Vigilante able to place it on the back line. Medgar tried to keep it alive, but no dice there as CSI is able to register again. 5-2, they lead. 5 straight points here for the Dolphins. 4 of them off the serve of Brandon Lay. Sent to the back line, kept up, played initially by Kamara. He will get it back, puts one over. Lay's able to dig it out, kept alive by Vigilante, and Palencia sends over. Medgar plays it there. Scott to Kamara, who gets it over, dug out. Tisby to Palencia, putting it on the back line. Nice job by Medgar to keep it alive. Sutton with the kill attempt from the back line. Khalik Baum thunders one over. That's probably the best kill of the evening for either team. And for Khalik Baum, that'll be his first kill of this match. He's also added a dig in the game. And the 6th straight point for CSI. Medgar able to send that one over quickly. So a deceptive play that time catches the Dolphins off guard. It's now 6-3. Nice job that time by Javon Scott, who's got 9 kills this season. He has 2 here tonight. And he will also be serving. Gets that one over. Vigilante with the first hit. Lay with the pass, back to Vigilante, hits off the top of the tape, but kept alive. Medgar needs to send this one over. Kamara does. Dug out by Palencia. Lay, and now Vigilante sends it to the back line. Kept alive, and now we have an attack error there, as the Dolphins will get this back here, up 7-3. Palencia sends it to the middle of the line. Kamara too far back, and Dolphins have an 8-2 lead. And it will be Palencia who's got it. Kept alive by Medgar, and that will be a point for the Dolphins. Missed touch that time by number 11, Mark Reed. Palencia with the service over. Medgar now with an attempt. Kept alive by the Dolphins at the front line. Palencia puts one on the back line. It is in, and that will count as a kill. Dolphins up now 10-3. Palencia puts that one over. Medgar keeps it alive, and that one straight into the net and down below. So the Dolphins now extend to their biggest lead here of the second set. It's 11-3. Palencia steps into it, goes across court. Kamara with the first touch. Sutton tries to keep it alive but cannot do it. So 12-3 is our score. Palencia gets into that one now, puts it shallow, and that one cannot be controlled. So the Dolphins go up 13-3 now, as Palencia has notched his 5th service ace of the game. And we're going to see a substitution for the Dolphins as number 10, Richard Vallejos, has come into the game, replacing Palencia. So Vallejos, a 5'11 sophomore, will come into the game for the Dolphins, and meanwhile, Medgar Evers will ask for a timeout. So for Vallejos, this will be his first action of the season. He has not gotten into the game, into any games as of yet. He was added to the roster very late and has not gotten into a game since, but the Dolphins are looking forward to seeing him play a little bit. So Vallejos will be serving, and we'll get to see our first look from him. Meanwhile, going back, Palencia, who exited the game, exits with 3 kills and 4 aces. He's added 4 digs as well. His night may be over. And it will be Vallejos for his first college serve. It's a good one on the back line, but kept alive by Medgar, but unable to finish as Kamara got there a little bit late. Dolphins up now 14-3. Vallejos puts that one into the net, so a serve error for him, and that will give the service back to Medgar Evers. Kamara will be serving it when we return to action here. Marseille will be the server here. Puts that one up, and that one goes into the net, so another error. They trade. Dolphins go up 15-4. Marseille has gotten a lot of action, tied with Dwight Boone for the most activity on Medgar's roster. Khalid Baum has come out, and Steven Caruso comes in for the Dolphins. Caruso in that first set had 6 aces on his own. He's now tied for the team lead with 16 this season. That one sent over, kept alive by the Dolphins. Jay Guo sees it punched right back over the net, but out of bounds, so the Dolphins get themselves another point, 16-4. Caruso puts one right in the middle of play. Kamara tried to bump it over, could not. So the Dolphins go up now 17-4 as Caruso nets his 7th ace of the game. Takes over the team lead with 17 total. One of the best in that department last year for the team. Medgar's able to put one over. Dolphins keep it alive. Nice play by Vigilante. Looking for space was Guo, but Medgar Evers able to keep it in play. Vigilante with the dig. Lay to Guo. Back line just out. And so Medgar Evers will get the point. Cuts the CSI lead down to 17-5 as Kamara will be serving. Kamara leads Medgar Evers with 38 kills this season in 58 matches. Kukovitsky able to thunder one down and gives the Dolphins an 18-5 lead. Vigilante will have the service here. Vigilante, CSI's most productive rookie this season. He's 3rd on the team with 40 kills. He's added 6 service aces. 32 digs this season, and that one unreturnable for Medgar, so it makes it 19-5. And Vigilante with his first ace. So he's got an ace, a kill, and 5 digs. He leads CSI with 5 digs so far in the second. Dolphins won the first set 25-2. They're up 19-5 here. Vigilante right from the middle of the service line, kept up by Marseille. Kamara, and over just barely, but getting it over was Boone. Dolphins with Kukovitsky, and that one, Medgar's blockers went into the net, so a block error there, and Medgar Evers makes it 20-5 as the Dolphins will get another substitution into the game. Corey Coronel will come in. 6'1" freshman from Brooklyn, New York, Fort Hamilton High School. He will replace Jay Guo. Vigilante still with the serve. Puts it on the back line. Kamara fields. Kept up. Sent over by Sutton. Caruso tried to keep it in play, but that's going to go Medgar Evers' way as they make it now 20-6. And we'll get service back. Nice job by Medgar to keep that one in play. And for Sutton, who's seeing his first action this season on Medgar Evers, he leads the team with 5 digs, and that was his first kill. Sent to the back line, Caruso Fields. Lay, Vallejos was late getting there, and Medgar Evers now with 2 straight points have cut the CSI lead to 13, 20-7. From the service of number 4, Dwight Boone, who's played in every set. 58 sets played. He's got 12 kills, 9 set assists, 5 aces for the season. Lay, Caruso bounced right down, and the Dolphins able to send it back via a Kukovitsky kill. Gives the Dolphins a 21-7 lead. Nice heads-up play by the Dolphins. Look, that initial block was going to be going on CSI side, but they were able to keep it alive. Meanwhile, Corey Colonel will have his first ever service. It is played by Medgar. Sutton sends over. Dug out by Vigilante. Kept in, Vallejos. And our ruling is it will be, that one hits the out of bounds marker. So Medgar makes it 21-8 there on the attack error by Vallejos. There's a line drive that ends up out of play. So Dolphins will get it back via the service error by Mark Reed. And it will be Danil Kukovitsky with the service as Medgar Evers has called for a timeout. So Staten Island comfortably ahead, 22-8. They already lead 1-0. And are looking to take a 2-0 lead here. And for the first time this season, win back-to-back games. The Dolphins have not done that this year. Then they lost their first 2 matches of the season, then beat Medgar, then lost 2, then beat Sarah Lawrence, then lost 2, then beat St. Joseph's Brooklyn, then lost 3. And of course, they're coming off of a win against CCNY. And now the Dolphins are looking to make it 2 straight wins for the first time this season. They would improve their record to 5-9 overall, and 1-4 on their home court. So as we resume, we have Danil Kukovitsky with the serve. Dolphins 3 points away from taking a 2-0 lead. They're up 22-8. Medgar's 8 points are the most that they've scored against CSI this season. Kukovitsky skirts the line, gets it over. Medgar sends. Dolphins doing a nice job of digging it out. Steven Caruso hammers one down, catches the backside of the tape. 23-8 is our score now. Nice job by Caruso. For Steven Caruso tonight, that was his first kill. He leads the way with 7 service aces, which puts him in sole possession of first place on the team. Kukovitsky hits the top of the tape, but it falls back on CSI side. So Medgar Evers will have themselves the service again with Sutton, who started things off behind the service line. Dolphins up comfortably, 14 points. Sutton sends over. Initially touched by Colonel, and unable to keep control was Tisby. So a little bit of indecision there leads to a Medgar Evers point, 23-10. Sutton sends one once again, back line, Tisby. Lay bumps up, looking for Vallejos. Nice kill attempt, but dug out by Reed. CSI again, Lay to Vallejos, and it hits the out of bounds line. And Medgar Evers now piecing together some points. They're on a 3-1 run since their timeout. They've cut the lead down to 12, 23-11. Sutton continues to serve. And that one will be too far out of bounds, so the Dolphins get it back via the serve error. 24-11. It's now game point for the Dolphins. And Brandon Lay will have the service. Lay tonight with 2 aces, 4 digs. Puts that one on the back line. Kamara looking to field, but that's going to be an ace for Lay. That ends the second set. So the Dolphins take a 2-0 lead. They won set number 1 25-2, win set number 2 25-11, and we get set for set number 3. The Dolphins in full control, 2-0 over Medgar Evers. Well, while we have this break in the action, we will mention CSI's next games here on CSI Sportsnet. Now, weather permitting, it'll be CSI's baseball's debut. They have a doubleheader against Yeshiva University on Wednesday, the 22nd of March at 4 p.m., a doubleheader at the CSI baseball complex. Now, again, we say weather permitting because we're expecting more bad weather on the way this weekend. And, of course, CSI's fields right now are covered under snow and ice, so that's a very big maybe, that game. But if indeed it's a go, we'll have it on CSI Sportsnet in the Dolphins baseball debut. The Dolphins are 5-1 this season. All 6 of those games played in their swing at Myrtle Beach, but since then they've been idle. They've had doubleheaders against St. Joe's Brooklyn and against Mount St. Vincent. Both derailed. Manhattanville was supposed to be this week. That was derailed and postponed. And of course, the Dolphins have a match against Kane that was canceled. They'll look to continue their season on Sunday when they play SUNY Maritime, but that will be played on the road in Long Island on a neutral campus. And for CSI softball, they also have been idle since they went 5-3 in Orlando, Florida. They don't return home until the 30th of March now against Stockton University, a 5 p.m. doubleheader at the CSI softball complex. Hopefully the 2 weeks is enough time to thaw here on Staten Island and we can get ourselves back on the baseball and softball diamonds for baseball and softball action. Next Thursday, men's volleyball returns to the Sports and Recreation Center. We will have them on CSI Sportsnet. They will face off against John Jay College to continue their CUNYAC season. The Dolphins are back on the court, and the one change, Justice Stout, has now checked into the game. He's played in 13 sets this season, only 4 kills on 19 attacks. 1 ace, 7 digs, so very limited duty. The Dolphins getting a lot of their substitutions into the game. We saw a lot of action from Vallejos. Colonel came in the last game, and now it's Justice Stout's turn to come back in. Medgar goes with their initial 6. They only came here to CSI with 6 players. Brandon Lay will have the initial serve when we get started. Ronald Tisby has come in to replace Daniil Kukovitsky as the libero. As we get ourselves set for set number 3, the Dolphins have taken the first 2 sets rather easily, 25-2 and 25-11. As we get set for set number 3, the Dolphins will have the service first. It'll be Brandon Lay, who's got 3 aces and 4 digs. Kept alive by Medgar. Nice job as Kamara sends over, but it's dug out clean by the Dolphins, and Palencia is able to thunder one home to give the Dolphins a 1-0 lead. Dolphins looking for their first back-to-back victories of the season, and they are 1 set away from doing so. They won the first 25-2, won the second 25-11. Full control here. 1-0 in the early stages. Lay puts one over, and that was going to be not a good pass that time by Dwight Boone, unable to find his teammate there. So Lay continues his hot hand. Again, Boone unable to control cleanly, kept alive by Medgar, but unable to be sent over, and the Dolphins now have a 3-0 lead to start things off. Brandon Lay controls. He's got 4 aces in this match. That one has been sent over. Lay gets back to the front, sets one up for Stout, who misses on the attack attempt. He's able to laugh it off a little bit. 3-1. As we have Javon Scott, who will now serve for Medgar Evers. Javon, 43 sets coming into the game of experience. That one is out of bounds as Jay Groh is able to duck out just in time. And the Dolphins back up by 3, 4-1. Dolphins with 5 more matches in the month of March. They will go to Ramapo College on Monday as Palencia serves one out of bounds. After that, they return home next week, a week from tonight against John Jay to continue their CUNY schedule. A week from Saturday, it will be Dolphins traveling to Lehman to face Lehman and Sarah Lawrence. As we have another substitution here as Samuel Dales will come in for the Dolphins. There's a big-time kill for Khalik Baum off the front line of Medgar Evers. Gives the Dolphins a 5-2 lead. As getting up to interrupt the kill was Mark Reed. Khalik Baum, a rare service attempt for Khalik. He's got no aces, 1 serve error this season, but he's usually substituted out during the serve, is able to get that one over. Mark Reed putting one over and killing that one home. So Medgar, 5-3 is the score now as Medgar Evers will get the service back. Looks like Kamara is getting set to deliver. Kamara sends it over. Guo, Tale, Kukavitsky, but that was called in, so Kukavitsky is able to find the line. Actually, it's going to be CSI's ball. Medgar thought that it had gone out of bounds. And it'll be Justice Stout that will have the service with the Dolphins up 6-3, so we'll see, get our first look from Justice here. Justice with 1 ace this season, but 8 service errors. And that one does go over and is able to hit the hardwood. So Justice Stout with his 2nd ace of the season. Stout has an assist and now an ace here in the box score in set number 3. Dolphins up 7-3. Put up sky high. Marseille unable to play cleanly. Another ace for Justice Stout. Makes it 8-3. Justice Stout also a member of the CSI men's cross country team last couple of years. Having his hand here at volleyball. 5'9" junior, and that one ends up just in at the sideline. So 3 straight service aces for Justice Stout. Came into the season with only 1. He's tripled that already here. His last 3 times he's hit the ball. That one skied and put back over. Kukavitsky, Tale to Guo. Dug out by Scott. Marseille bumps up. Kamara from the back line, and he hits that one too far high and into the rafters. Ends up back on John Jay's, on Medgar's side. So it's now 10-3. As Justice Stout will continue his service. Up top, Kamara to Scott. And now Boone is able to find some daylight there in the middle of the floor for the Dolphins. Boone came into the game with 12 kills. That was his first of this game. So make that 13 for the season for him. Dwight Boone will be serving here as well. Line drive serve. Tisby, Tale to Guo. Tried to find some daylight and did. Good attempt that time by Boone to get to it, but not enough on it. So 11-4 as we have a substitution as Palencia is getting set to come back in. He'll replace Samuel Dales. And now Jay Guo will be our server for the Dolphins. Puts that one over. Scott controls middle of the court, and it's able to be tapped back down by Kukavitsky to make it 12-4. For Kukavitsky, that was his 7th kill of the game. He's also added 1 dig. His attack percentage is .875. That's got to be a career high for him. Jay Guo, meanwhile, he has 5 kills himself. That one's out of bounds, and Medgar Evers will have the ball back here, down by 7, with number 11 Mark Reed getting set to serve here. Reed with 3 digs in the game and 1 kill. Line drive sent over, nice serve, put right back over and over again. CSI controls, Palencia off the front line of Medgar and out of play, so the Dolphins able to increase their lead now 13-5. Daniil Kukovitsky will have the serve. Kukovitsky this season with 9 aces. Puts that one on the back line, sent immediately over by Scott. Took the Dolphins by surprise, but they are able to keep it in play. Kukovitsky back line attack, still kept in. Medgar has 1 chance to get it over. They do, nice job after it bounced up in the rafters a couple of times. And we have 4 hits by the Dolphins, so that'll be a point for Medgar. Well-earned point for Medgar Evers Cougars that time, as they stayed with it. And it will be number 2, Sutton. Send that one over. Short serve, kept alive. Lay, Baum, it is tipped and in play, so the Dolphins get the point, 14-6. Medgar probably could have not touched that and it would have went out, but Kalik Baum was able to get the kill, his third, I should say, of the game. Sent over. Boone with the first touch. Scott is able to send it over. Again, the Dolphins control, and Kalik Baum missing on the attack attempt. 14-7 is our score. Dolphins have doubled up on Medgar. They lead 2-0, looking to close this one out. Javon Scott will be serving. Sent up, played by Guo. Lay, Palencia, and he's able to kill it home. So Dolphins do a nice job there of getting the service back. Palencia will be doing the honors. Palencia, busy evening. 5 kills, 5 digs, 4 aces, 2 assists. But he's going to come out of the game, and he will give it up to Samuel Dales. Dales, no official stats, but this will be his first attempt here. And his first serve of his career. Down the sideline, and an ace for Samuel Dales. Nice job by Samuel. And we'll have a timeout called by Medgar Evers. So it's 16-7. CSI Dolphins with the lead. Once again, the CSI men's volleyball team will be back in action here on CSI Sportsnet next Thursday, 7 o'clock against John Jay College. That game will count towards the CUNY standings. This game does not. It's the second time these two teams are playing. The first time that they played, that game counted towards the CUNY standings. This one does not. And so it will be the Dolphins with a 9-point lead when we return back from this timeout. Once again, we want to remind you that every one of CSI Sportsnet's broadcasts for every sport that we've covered this season is available on demand in HD, free of charge to all of our viewers. Once again, CSIDolphins.com/CSI Sportsnet. Hit on the box at the lower right of the screen. That's our on-demand button, and you'll see all of our broadcasts on there as well. Even from years past, if you go to the top of the page, you'll be able to see it. We want to remind all of our fans, too, to like us on our social media pages, at CSI Dolphins on Twitter and Instagram, and at CSI Dolphins Athletics on Facebook, as we have another ace for Samuel Dales. And now the Dolphins are up by double digits, 17-7 over Medgar, 8 points away from wrapping this one up. Dales puts it up, looking back corner, and that one is just out. That one might have hit a little bit of the line there, but Medgar Evers gets the call. It is a little bit out. And Kevin Marseille will be serving it up. Marseille surveying the area, putting one up, sending it over. Dolphins get there on the short attempt. Lay to Baum and block down. Nice job by Mark Reed to block that one, and so it will be Medgar Evers' ball. A couple basketball players battling it out that time. Mark Reed and Kalik Baum. Dolphins keep the service in play. Jay Grau able to send one up. Medgar keeping it in play. Can they get it over here with Boone? They cannot. And so Dolphins get the ball back here, up 18-9. And getting ready to serve will be Kalik Baum. Kalik tonight with 3 kills and 1 dig. Official stats for him. He's going to be a jump service here. Does get it over and hits hardwood. Nice job by Kalik Baum. Didn't have a lot on it, but certainly found the shallow back line. And so Kalik Baum adds an ace to his docket here tonight. And for Kalik, that's his first ace of the season. That'll feel good for the young man as he puts another one down the back line, and another miscommunication that time between 2 Medgar Evers players. Marseille was in the area as well as Boone. Neither one could make the play, and so Kalik Baum, with his first 2 service aces of the season, gives the Dolphins a 20-9 lead. Sent up, back line, played by Boone. Kamara, now Boone too far, out of play. And that'll put the Dolphins 4 points away from victory, 21-9. That one sent over, and that one is in, right on the sideline. And another ace here for Kalik Baum, his 3rd. And for the Dolphins tonight, 26 service aces. Good enough for a single game's worth of points, and then some. Baum puts one this time left side, straight over. Kukovitsky hammers it down. Medgar can't get there, and it's now 23-9. And we have a timeout called by Medgar Evers there. Final one. The Dolphins in control. They won the first set 25-2, won the second set 25-11, and now up 23-9 here in set number 3. Other games in action tonight. Baruch is facing off at home against Kane University, and CCNY is hosting St. Joseph's College of Brooklyn. So no CUNY matches on the docket tonight, but a couple other teams playing around the league. Of course, a lot of the outdoor sports getting hammered with weather problems and cancellations, but the indoor sports remain intact. Not the case, though, this weekend, as CSI men's volleyball has seen their tri-match at Wilkes University canceled on Saturday due to snow removal on the Wilkes-Barre campus. Kalik Baum, another service ace for him down the right sideline. And the Dolphins are 1 point away from victory, 24-9. Kalik Baum, last on the court as a member of the men's basketball team, looking to put things away here. But he hits that one incorrectly, and that will give the service back to Medgar, 24-10. Medgar Evers checking their servers, and it will be number 9, Kamara, to serve it. Abdul Kamara tonight with 2 assists, 1 dig, 1 kill. Guo plays it. Lay to Justice Stout, and can Medgar keep it together? No, they cannot. 4 hits. The Dolphins win it on a Justice Stout kill, and the Dolphins take themselves a 3-0 victory. The Dolphins win this one by scores of 25-2, 25-11, and 25-10. So the Dolphins, for the first time this season, win back-to-back games. They are now 5-9 overall this year. Still 2-4 in the conference. For Medgar Evers, their struggles continue. They're 0-19 overall, 0-8 in the conference. CSI Dolphins will return on Monday at Ramapo College for a 7 p.m. non-conference road game. They'll be back on CSI Sportsnet a week from tonight, the 23rd of March, against John Jay College at 7 o'clock. So we want to wish you a very good night here. The Dolphins victorious 3-0. Once again, your final scores 25-2, 25-11, and 25-10. For all of us at CSI and CSI Sportsnet, I'm David Pizzuto wishing you a good night. And join us next time here on CSI Sportsnet, csidolphins.com/CSI Sportsnet. Thanks again, everyone.